What better way to start a Wednesday evening than with a Woj bomb? How's it going, everybody? This is Troy. Half Court Report YouTube channel. Newly minted 10,000 subscriber Half Court Report YouTube channel. Okay, lots to break down. Russell Westbrook traded for John Wall. Can you believe this? Russell Westbrook traded for John Wall. I think also a first-round pick is involved from Washington side. So according to Adrian Wojnarowski, St. Bonaventure's finest, Woj, Houston has agreed to trade Russell Westbrook to Washington for John Wall and a first-round pick. So let's break this down. I got comments turned on. Maybe I'll read a few. If you have any questions, let me know. Maybe I'll answer a few. I just had a comment. I am shocked too. I thought something would happen maybe more once we got into the season or maybe closer to the trade deadline. This is all instant reaction. I think the first thing we need to do is break down what these new rosters are going to look like, okay? As I've said before, I keep all the rosters on a little Word doc on my laptop. So let's start. Houston's the first team I got to, so let's start with Houston. Remember, John Wall coming back healthy. He didn't play at all last year. He was injured the year before that. We can go through his games played and stats here in just a second. But John Wall, James Harden will be the starting backcourt for Houston. I've got Daniel House at the 3 spot. Then you have, I have Christian Wood at the 4 with PJ Tucker continuing to be at the 5. On the bench, only backup point guard right now that they've signed, Chris Clemens, who's a holdover from last year. At the 2 guard, Eric Gordon, Ben McLemore. Don't know about Ryan Lewis, but they have McLemore. Then they've got Deshaun Tate, I think is his name. He's a guy that they signed from overseas. Then they have at the 3 spot, Gerald Green, David Nwaba, Kenyon Martin Jr., rookie who they just signed. I've got him playing the 3. Bruno Caboclo going to be at the 4. Then DeMarcus Cousins, Boogie Cousins at the 5. So, when you look at this roster, the team is fairly deep. Main guys, Wall, Harden, Christian Wood, Eric Gordon, DeMarcus Cousins. Those are 5 legit players right there. Those are 5 guys you could probably have in crunch time if need be. Did I mention Christian Wood? Yes. Then you have that 3-point shooting with McLemore, Gordon, Gerald Green can always light it up. He was injured last year as well. You've got the defense with Tucker, with Wood to an extent. Not really seeing too many other guys. Well, David Nwaba, he can defend all right. Defense, still might be a little bit of a problem. Daniel House is pretty good defensively. Hey, thanks to everybody who's tuning into this channel. Before we get to Washington's new roster, I'm Troy. I do videos like this all the time. Sometimes I'll do live feeds for breaking news like this. Sometimes I will do things with a script where I kind of analyze other things. Just past 10,000 subscribers on this channel. Thank you so much to everybody subscribing. If it's your first time here, if you like this kind of thing, make sure you like this video. Make sure you subscribe to this channel. I love the NBA. I feel like I'm pretty knowledgeable about the NBA. So I like to share that knowledge and my opinions, that information with you guys. Okay, let's look at Washington's new and hopefully improved roster. Okay, let's take John Wall out of here, put in Russell Westbrook, get this Word doc updated. Okay. Wow. It's the first time I'm seeing it, and this looks great. If I'm a Wizards fan, I am pumped. backcourt of Russell Westbrook and Brad Beal. Wow, 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 wow. Here's the thing. Even though in a vacuum, James Harden is the better player than Brad Beal, I feel about Beal that he and Westbrook complement each other a lot better than Westbrook and Harden. For one, I think Beal, he's not going to be as much of a ball stopper. He's going to allow Westbrook to control the offense when he needs to. And I think I really like his shooting. I think he's a better defender. So let's look at this. Westbrook and Beal in the backcourt. I say let's just have them start Denny Abdia, their rookie from Israel, at the 3. Rui Hachimura starting at the 4. Then at the 5, Thomas Bryant. Then off the bench, Ish Smith and Raul Neto at the backup point guard spots. Cassius Winston on that 2-way. Cassius Winston is going to be good, guys. Trust me. Cassius Winston is going to be good. Backing up Beal at the 2, Jerome Robinson. So the backcourt, you don't have a lot of depth there behind Westbrook and Beal. So that's something they might have to address with another trade down the line, maybe something, signing a free agent that hasn't been picked yet. So at the 3, Abdia, behind him, Isaac Bonga, Troy Brown, Garrison Matthews on that other 2-way contract. Then behind Rui Hachimura, Davis Bertans. Forgot about Bertans. Oh, I love Bertans. He's so good. I love Bertans. San Antonio, does Greg Popovich just wake up in cold sweats? In a cold sweat because they let Davis Bertans go. Remember, they traded him to Washington when they thought they were going to have one of the Morris twins, who I think it was Marcus, who ended up backing out and signing with the Knicks. They thought that's why they had to trade away Bertans so they could make that contract work, and then they ended up losing the Morris twin, and they ended up losing Bertans and had to go with Damari Carroll. Man, what a downgrade. So you get Davis Bertans, Mo Wagner from University of Michigan Wolverines. My brother-in-law went there. And Gill. Yeah, it's some guy they just signed. His last name's Gill. Can't remember his first name, but they signed him from overseas. He's a free agent that they picked up who is one of those older rookies who's going to be in the NBA. Then backing up Thomas Bryant. The not as good Lopez twin, Robin Lopez. And guys, I'm going to butcher this next guy's name. I'm sorry. Ajish Paisniks. I don't remember how you say it. But he's the foreign guy who I think he was a first-round pick for, I want to say Philly a few years ago in the 20s. He never played for them, but Washington ended up signing him, I think after Philly renounced his rights. So Westbrook, Beal, Abdia, Hachimura, and Thomas Bryant starting. The bench, not as good. Bertans, Lopez, Wagner, really, maybe Ish Smith are really the guys that I think are halfway decent. Troy Brown is okay. He's okay. He's still learning the game. But I think that Washington has won this trade because Westbrook has become one of those guys who I think he's gotten a bad rap over the last couple seasons especially. Remember, this is a former MVP, okay? Former MVP. You may be saying he didn't deserve it that year. He's shown that he's just a stat hunter. Maybe to an extent. But Westbrook is a competitor. Westbrook wants to win. Put him in this winning situation along with Washington. What a backcourt. Westbrook and Beal. Wow. Is there a better backcourt in the Eastern Conference? Is there a better backcourt in the NBA? I don't know. I don't have time to look through all these rosters and see, but guys, in the comments right now, throw out the backcourts that you think are better than a Westbrook and Beal backcourt, and I'll read a few of them. Is there a better backcourt than Westbrook and Beal in the Eastern Conference or in the entire NBA right now? Just off the top of my head, I can't think of any. I really can't. Darius Garland, Colin Sexton, close second. but but no, I can't. I can't think of a better backcourt than. Oh, somebody said the Suns with Chris Paul and Devin Booker. I still like Washington better. I do. I still like Washington better. And people are saying Steph and Clay. Well, Clay's going to be out, so you can't count him. People are saying that Harden and Wall are going to be better. I don't know. I want to see how Wall looks coming back from that injury. I really do. Achilles is it's a tough injury, man. Who's the last guy who, and we'll see that with CJ and Dame. No, they're not better. They're good, but they're not better. We haven't seen how Durant is going to be after recovering from my grandpa and grandpa. That might be true. That guy's grandparents probably are a better backcourt. Very true. We don't know how Kevin Durant is going to look with Brooklyn after that torn Achilles. But let's head over to our good friends at Basketball Reference and just kind of look at the type of player that John Wall is. What are we hoping John Wall to be? What are we expecting John Wall to be if he can come back fully healthy from that injury? John Wall just turned 30 a few months ago, so you could say he's definitely in his prime. He's got a couple more years in his prime. Has not played since the 2018-2019 season. 32 games before his injury. Averages of almost 21 points, almost 9 assists, 3.5 rebounds per game, steal and a half a game, block per game. Good numbers. If you'll recall from the 4 or 5 seasons in a row, 2013 all the way through the 2017-2018 season, this was an all-star. He was an all-star. We forget how good John Wall was. He was an all-star, giving you a consistent 20 to 25 points a night, a consistent 10 to 12 assists per night, 5 rebounds a night. And remember, these were Washington teams that were winning. These were not. This was not a good stats, bad team kind of situation. These were Washington teams that were winning. They were doing very, very well. So, if John Wall can get back to that 20 to 25 points per night, 10 assists per night, then and if maybe he and Harden can play off each other a little bit better, maybe Harden takes that thing where he kind of acts as the de facto point guard. John Wall kind of takes over more of a shooting guard type of role. We'll see what happens. So, 6 months from now, I could be coming back and saying, okay, Houston definitely won this trade. Because also, remember, they're also getting a pick from this. I think I read that right. One more time, let's see. Houston has traded Russell Westbrook to Washington for John Wall on a pick. Yeah, so Houston is also getting a first-round pick. I'm not sure of the protections on this pick, but they definitely need some picks because to get Westbrook in the first place in that Chris Paul deal, they ended up giving some picks. So, guys, what do you think? What do you think? Somebody saying Kimball Walker, Jaylen Brown, better backcourt. I still actually like Wall and Harden and Westbrook and Beal better than those guys too, actually. So, this is interesting. This is unconfirmed, but I am seeing this on Twitter. Switching gears, and we'll get back to this. Gonzaga freshman Jalen Suggs exiting the game with an apparent ankle injury. No confirmation that his Achilles is involved, but Achilles is trending on Twitter. Just something to throw out there. Jalen Suggs with Gonzaga, projected to be one of the top picks in the 2021 draft. Just a little aside there. Okay, guys, huge news, huge Woj bomb. Houston has traded Russell Westbrook to the Washington Wizards for John Wall and a future first-round pick. Guys, if it's your first time here, my name is Troy. This channel just passed 10,000 subscribers. Still a pretty new NBA YouTube channel. Would definitely appreciate your support by liking this video. If you enjoy NBA videos and content like this, not only live feeds, but also NBA stories, NBA rumors, NBA analysis, where I'll have something recorded and then I'll post it later. I don't just do live feeds. Check out the channel, see what other videos I have on here. If that's your thing, would love if you subscribe to the channel. I'm trying to go for 15,000 subscribers by the time we get to about March. So would appreciate any support that you have there. Guys, I am just floored by this news. I actually thought Harden would have been the first one to get traded before Russell Westbrook got traded. I think this means that Houston definitely holds on to James Harden for at least the rest of this season, because I don't think it makes any sense to trade for John Wall if you're not going to at least give it a try and see how a Wall and Harden team looks. Wow. Houston, it's turning out they haven't had that bad of an off season. Whether you're a huge John Wall fan or not, I mean he's good. I like Westbrook better. I do. I think Wall's a good player, but Houston's had a nice off season. Christian Wood, DeMarcus Cousins, Gerald Green, Kenyon Martin Jr., and now John Wall. Very, very interesting. Guys, do you think Cousins is going to be starting for Houston by the beginning? Do you think he'll be starting for them on opening night? But if not by opening night, do you think DeMarcus Cousins will be starting for Houston by the time we get to, All-Star break? Do you think that'll happen? I wouldn't put it past him, to be honest. Because I just don't see 6'5" PJ Tucker being the starting center for the entire year, unless you move Tucker to the 4 and have Christian Wood at the 5. But yeah, comment. He just said Houston is not bad. They're really not. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. What's going to be the next big trade? What is going to be the next big trade? Wow. I'm loving the Washington just having they have so many young guys. They have lots of depth. They have some offense. They have some defense. Really interesting combinations, especially when you throw in. I like it because Westbrook and Beal, those are guys who are going to need the ball. But then you have guys like Deni Avdija and Rui Hachimura, who don't really need the ball, especially Avdija. I cannot wait to see how Deni Avdija looks with Westbrook and Beal. I love Deni Avdija on this team now, even more than before. And can you believe they got him with the 9th pick? With the 9th pick. If you don't know about Deni Avdija's game, he's a player from Israel. They just got him in the first round. He was the youngest ever Israeli League MVP. He actually played with Amari Stoudemire. They were on the same team in Israel. They won the Israeli League championship. Deni Avdija is going to be a good player. I've projected him as one of those guys who's probably like the 3rd option on a championship team. So I think his role is being really, really defined on this Wizards team. I really like what his role is going to be. He's a big guy, 6'9", really good defender. His shooting needs to improve a little bit. He needs to stretch the floor a little bit more. But he's a big playmaker, can really act as a facilitator. You're not going to play him at point guard full time, say like you do with a guy like LeBron or Doncic. He's not going to be that type of facilitator. But he's a guy who can run the offense a little bit, who can be a secondary playmaker. He's a guy that is going to allow, once he gets more experience, He's one of those guys who's going to allow Westbrook and Beal just to freelance on offense a little bit, get them the ball in the right spots, let them focus on the scoring, and he's going to be able to focus on getting them the ball and making sure they get some good shots. But I love him on this team now. I really, really love him on this team. Hachimura was another rookie who last year was so good for them. I was a huge fan of Hachimura. He ended up not being the best player taken from Gonzaga. Brandon Clark ended up, I think, being a little bit better than Hachimura. I love Brandon Clark. If you're new to this channel, I'm a Grizzlies fan. I love Brandon Clark, and I loved that pick when the Grizzlies got him. But Hachimura was drafted like 9th or 10th, something like that, by Washington last year. I think if we're doing a redraft, he's definitely top 5. Really like his game. And Thomas Bryant is a guy we haven't really talked about a lot. Former second-round pick from drafted by the Lakers, played with the Lakers, I think a couple years out of, I think he played 2 seasons, University of Indiana. Thomas Bryant is one of those big dudes. He's gonna score around the hoop a lot. He's gonna take up a lot of space. He can get some blocks. He can get some rebounds. Nice glue guy to have on the team. Nice 5th starter to have on the team. And then I keep forgetting about Bertans because I don't think Bertans is going to start, but I keep forgetting about Bertans. Just imagine Westbrook kicking it out to Bertans for an open 3. Remember, Bertans was like 40-something% from 3 last year. Odds are, and he shot like 8 or 9 of them a game. Odds are, if Bertans is shooting a 3, it's going in. He is money from 3. So, just imagine Westbrook kicking it out to Bertans, Denny Avdia kicking it out to Bertans, open 3, swish, money. Maybe Bertans is on the bench, kick it out to Beal for a 3. Westbrook, hey, maybe I'm going to shoot a 3. Hey, I'm Russell Westbrook, I'm going to shoot a 3 now. While I'm at it, I'm going to get some assists and rebounds, triple-double every night. I love this Washington team. Wow, it's so good. It's so good. I love this Washington team. I liked it already, but the more I talk about it, I'm just like talking myself into it even more. I love this Washington team. Aaron just asked, do I think Denny is going to be a good player? For his rookie year, I would expect maybe about 7 points, 3 to 4 rebounds, 25 minutes a game. He's one of those guys who he is going to be good eventually. Yeah, Westbrook. Yeah, guys saying, like Westbrook's never hit 3s. Yeah, Westbrook is fine from 3. Don't worry about Westbrook. He's fine. Come on. Yeah, Westbrook from 3. He's talking like this guy is Andre Robertson out there. Come on. So, Denny Avdia, yeah, I think he's going to be good in a couple years. He's still only 19. He's got some learning to do in the NBA, as all young guys do. But you got to remember, Denny Avdia, he's been playing against men. He hasn't been playing against college kids. He's been playing against other professional athletes who are making money doing this. He's going to be good. He's going to be fine. They're not going to be looking at Denny Avdia to score. They're going to be looking at him to facilitate, improve, hit open 3s, cut to the basket, do a nice little outlet pass. That's what they're looking for Denny. I feel like I've focused a lot on Washington. I think Washington won this trade. I really do. Even though they gave up the first round pick, I think Washington won this trade. Guys, I got like over 500 people watching this thing right now. Let me know, just real quick. Give me a in the comments. Put a W or put an H for Washington or Houston. Who do you think won this trade? W or H? Just let me know in the comments. If it's your first time here, my name is Troy. This is the Half Court Report YouTube channel. When I say we, I mean me. I'm the only one doing this channel. But it's a community. We're all in this together. We just passed 10,000 subscribers today on this channel. Can you believe it? This channel's still pretty new. This is a new channel on YouTube. One of the fastest growing basketball channels on YouTube right now. If it's your first time here, and this is and you like this type of content, whether it's live feeds or whether it's maybe some recorded content with maybe some video thrown in there, I try to add a little personality to what I'm doing, not just read everything monotone the entire time. I try to add a little personality into my videos. If that's your kind of thing, would love if you subscribe to this channel. Please and thank you. Would mean so much. W or H, who won this trade? Washington or Houston? Drop it in the comments. What do you think? W or H? So, all that being said, Houston, yes, they were going to make the playoffs anyway with Westbrook and Harden. I think with Wall and Harden, they're still going to make the playoffs. Home court advantage, I don't know, but I think we can at least pencil them in for a 5 or 6 seed. Just looking through the Western Conference, who is Houston, or who is better than Houston? I think we can say Denver's better. I think we can say both LA teams are going to be better. I think we can say Phoenix is going to be better. So I think we can say Houston is at least a 5 seed. Considering what, if Phoenix is able to improve on what they did last year, if the Paul trade ends up working out for them, I say Phoenix is better. So I say Houston is a 5 seed in the Western Conference next year. I'll get to the Wizards in just a second for their seeding. Guys, drop in the comments. How do you think Houston is going to do next season? Just drop in the number. What seed? And if you don't think they're going to make the playoffs, just say no seed. I don't think Dallas is better than Houston. I don't. Well, I don't know. I say that, but then I'm like, Doncic is just out of this world. On paper, I like Dallas better, but you don't know what's going to happen with Porzingis. Dallas is, if Luka misses like a month or something with an ankle injury, Dallas is toast, So I still got to put Houston above Dallas. I do. I'm getting a lot of 7 seeds, really, lots of 7 seeds. You guys are not as big believers in Houston as I am. Interesting. We'll see what happens. I think 4 to 5 seed. I do. As far as Eastern Conference, as I talk about it, you guys let me know in the comments what seed you think Washington is going to be. If you think they'll miss the playoffs, I don't think they will, but if you think they'll miss the playoffs, put no seed. Who's going to be better than Washington next season? Brooklyn, yes. Boston, yes. Miami, yeah. Milwaukee, definitely. Philly, probably so. If you don't say Raptors, you're not gonna like it. I don't think the Raptors are gonna be better than Washington next year. I don't think the Raptors are going to be better than Washington. I don't. I see Washington as a 6 seed. Washington as a 6 seed next year. Who knows? They could make some noise in the playoffs. Maybe they could. Maybe we'll have a Washington Bucks playoff matchup. Lopez on Lopez. Maybe it'll happen. People saying the Pacers are going to be better. No, I don't think so. People were saying I was a little generous putting Philly above Washington. I think Philly's going to be really good, especially Now that they've got Doc in there, they can move. They've got Horford out of there. They can move Harris back to the 4, which I think is his more natural position. They've added some shooting with Danny Green, Seth Curry, Furkan Korkmaz. I love Furky. Isaiah Joe, who they've got, who can shoot it a bit. Tyrese Maxey. This is turning into a Sixers video now. Okay, guys, I think I've said all I can say about it. Let me just check Woj real quick, see if he has any other news about this massive, massive trade. Yeah, no other news, but wow. Houston trading Westbrook and John Wall and a first-round pick. Or let me say that one more time. I think I said that wrong. Houston trading Russell Westbrook to Washington for John Wall and a first-round pick. Also, Tim McMahon, who is a writer for ESPN, he says his rocket source, Doc is overrated, maybe a little, but I like him. Rocket source says that James Harden's stance has not traded. Oh, I see. Okay, sorry. Rocket source, the stance on James Harden being traded has not changed. They're still going to hold on to him. Houston hopes to be competitive with him this season. Does not envision a scenario where Harden would be traded before the opener. I don't think so either. I think if they trade Harden, it'll be sometime next off season. I do. All right, guys. This has been a lot of fun. Thanks so much for watching. Make sure to like this video. If it's your first time here, would love if you subscribe to the channel. If you're a fan of the NBA, I do NBA videos several times a week, and this channel just passed 10,000 subscribers, and I could not have done it without you guys for making that possible, and I really, truly appreciate it. Road to 15K, then 20K, 100K. Who knows how far we can go with this channel. Guys, thanks so much for watching. Everybody have a great night. My name is Troy. This has been the Half Court Report, and I will see you next time.